Hello viewers, welcome to Psycho Way Out Clinic. I'm Dr. Shide Sunday. I'm a clinical psychologist. Today we are going to look at why some people are more creative than others. A psychological explanation to creativity. It will interest you to know that while many people are willing to be creative, but some are more creative than others. In today's session, we are going to look at reasons behind some being more creative than others. Creativity is the ability to initiate new and original ideas. It has to do with individual ability to initiate new and original product. It's to bring about something that has not been existing. Apart from generally and majority acceptable theories that first creation was done by the supernatural and scientific processes, you agree with me that most of the things around people that have in human existence are associated with human capacity or ability to create one thing or the other. A man on his own power of creativity, coming about how to build house, technological invention, artistic creativities, man ability to create what it used for transportation, land transportation, water transportation, air transportation, man able to create weapons to defend himself from wild animals, man able to create things that help protect or to preserve mankind from some disasters, risks, factors that ordinarily can take man off the existence. Now in today's session, we're going to look at why some people are more creative than others. But before we go further, I want you to click on the subscription button if you are here to subscribe. I also want you to like this video, share this video, make your comment. You are free to make contributions. We'll be looking at today's topic from the physiological aspect of creativity and also looking at this topic from that aspect that makes some people to be more creative than others. Creativity comes from that imagination, that idea, that inner thought, that inner reflection. What are the physiological factors involved in creativity? Creativity involves a complex cognitive process whereby many parts of the brain are involved in actualizing individual ability to create or invent or initiate. This part of the brain includes hippocampus. The hippocampus, which is popularly known as executive function structure, is that part of the brain that having creativity in areas like planning, in areas like problem solving, in areas like decision making. That is a part of the brain that starts forming that imaginary image in the brain. Start imagining that something like this is possible. Something like this that is not existing is possible. It is possible for an aeroplane to fly. It is possible for the light to show. It is possible for somebody to be in London, another in US, another in Africa, another in Asia, to be communicating as if they are close. That imaginary perspective is achieved through the work of hippocampus. And the next part that plays a very vital role is the frontal cortex. The frontal cortex, through the help of temporal lobes, reorganize that imagination, bring the picture of that imagination to reality in the mind. And as a psychologist, or psychology being the scientific study of behavior, that is the aspect we look that image is forming to form part of something that can be realistic. And after that, the next part of the brain that pick up from the process is the cerebellum. Cerebellum is at the subcortical part of the brain. It's part of the reflex action attached to the brain stem. This part of the brain collect this imaginary image and store them in form of memory, waiting for the initiator to decide whether this image is to be retrieved for function. I want us to look at why some people are more creative than others. There are three reasons why some people are more creative than others. And these three reasons, I term them as three rings of creativity. The first one is sensitivity to imaginative thought. Every individual have capacity to imagine, but it's not everybody that can be sensitive to that imaginative thought. The first reason why some are more creative than others is because some have that sensitivity. They are able to sense that imagination that is formed in the brain. They are able to sense that, wow, within me, in my brain, my mind, there is something that does flash in me. There's an image that is formed in me that this thing is possible. I'm sensitive that something like this is possible. Then the second ring is what we call ability to extract and translate this imaginative thought into reality. It's one thing to be sensitive to imaginative thoughts, and it's one thing to be able to extract and translate this imaginative thought into reality. So this second ring has to do with ability to now extract what I imagine within me, translate that imaginative thought into reality. I'm just imagining that you can build a house right on top of a sea. That possible? The water, how can I lay foundation on the sea? But from there, you now go further by translating that imagination of a house on the sea. That translation into reality will begin to give you some pictures that can give some other physical factors, if translated, to make that imagination come to reality. And the last ring is what we call flexibility ring. Flexibility ring has to do with the initiator ability to be flexible. Because when you imagine something in the imaginary world, you have to be flexible for that to be extracted and reflect in reality. Because the principles that guide physical world may be different from the principles that guide your imaginary world. Just like I gave an example of building on the water. You have to be flexible for some physical principle to enable you to accept the fact that I need some pillars. Maybe the pillars were not in your imagination. I need some chains that can link to where we can source bound or pillars that can hold the building. I need some things that can go deep the water. So your imagination is within the building, but now flexibility accepts the fact that you needed other physical factors that can make this imagination come to be. Flexibility further help you to accept some other physical principle that can add to your view from your imaginary thought in making it to come to existence. There are people that are highly imaginary. They have a lot of imagination. You hear them saying, I know this, I understand this can be do this can do this, and you see nothing translate in what they are doing. They created nothing and nothing to show that were created by them. Not because they were not imagining good invention, not because they were not imagining important ideas. The only reason is because their imagination ends at imaginary level. There was no ability to extract and translate this imagination into reality. And there was no flexibility to allow other insight that can make that imagination to come to be. At this junction, I want to thank my viewers for watching this video. Don't forget, subscribe, share this video, like this video, make comment. However, before we go, I want to remind you that creativity is ability to generate new ideas. And I also want to remind you that it's true that some people are more creative than others. I also want to remind you that creativity is a function of complex cognitive processes which involve virtually most of the parts of the brain, with focus on hippocampus that help us to begin to have the imaginary world, the temporal lobes right from the frontal cortex that help us to bring together the picture of what we are imagining, and the cerebellum that help us to store and maintain the memory of what we imagine. I want to remind us that if we want to invent new idea effectively, you must understand how to be sensitive to your imagination or imaginative thought. You must understand how to extract and translate your imaginative thought into reality. And you must be flexible to accept principles of reality, so that when these imaginations come to be, they can be aided by other principles of reality and make it possible. Thank you, my viewers. Thanks for watching these videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a nice day.